What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you one of the best passing plays in the game to get one-play touchdowns and just huge gains on almost any coverage in the game. This play really can just take the top off of any defense. If not for a touchdown, you're going to pretty much get a big gain every single time versus most coverages. So this is a play that I think a lot of people know about, but for those that still don't know about it, it has been good for some years now. It is out of the gun tight offset formation. I'm in the Saints playbook. This might also be in the Packers playbook. I know it was last year. I'm not sure if it is this year, but Saints playbook is, one of those playbooks that a lot of people run. It's definitely a top, I would say, 3-4 playbook in the game. And the play is the PA shot seams. Now, you want your fastest wide receiver here, where we have Goodwin in the left slot, and then you're gonna have a tight end over here, and you want him to be a fast tight end. Now, there is a package, I think, where you can get, you can get 4 wide receivers on the field, so you can do that as well if you have 2 fast wide receivers. And then, so you see number 11 in the right slot, that's now Goodwin. And then, but you can still do it with a fast tight end. Obviously, if you have 2 fast wide receivers, that would be the better option. But we're just gonna do it with the receiver and tight end, just to show you that even with a tight end, you can still do it. But I definitely recommend 2 fast receivers, because the more speed, the better. Now, we're gonna look at cover 3, cover 2, and man, because those are kind of the more common coverages. Not as many people are running cover 4s this year. Maybe they'll run it if they're expecting you to run the ball, but they're not running it as much versus the past this year. So you've probably seen this type of a setup before, because like I said, this has been good for a while now. So what you do is you motion this guy over, and you want to make sure that you see how we're on the right hash mark and we have the post running from right to left. You want to make sure that the post is going to the open space. So if we were on the left hash mark, we would have this flipped. So we motion him over, and then we block our running back just to give us a little bit extra protection. Now I'm going to go ahead and spy one of the defensive ends, just because in practice mode they block shit almost instantly. Whereas in real game, if you have a good O-line and you have, you block that running back, you should get more than enough time to pull this off for the most part. Now if they're blitzing you heavy, this isn't going to be something you want to abuse, because you need a little bit of time to get this off. So against a cover 3, one of 2 things is going to happen. Either the post is going to get wide open for a touchdown, or the A route's going to get open. It depends on what the safety does, because the safety sometimes will play it differently. He doesn't always play it the same. So there you see he went, and Garoppolo's arm just wasn't really that strong there. He kind of underthrew that, and we still got it in. Now I want to show you what happens here, because you do have to read the safety on this, because at the beginning of the year and in older Maddens, the safety would always do what he did right here. He would always bite on the tight end. You see he's favoring the tight end, which is leaving all this space over here open. Now, like I said, Garoppolo kind of underthrew this. You see, we had to slow down to catch the ball. We still got the touchdown. Now, sometimes after the most recent patch, sometimes the safety will take the post sometimes and leave the seam route wide open. So you have to make the read. You can't just assume it's going to be the post. I find that more times than not in game situations, the post is usually the one that's open, but it's not 100%. Sometimes it is going to be the tight end, so you have to watch it. See, again there, he went to Garoppolo was not putting a lot on this ball there. Maybe I'm throwing it a little too late, but you can see those few times there, he took the seam route, so we went to the post. I want to see if I can get footage of him actually going for the post, because it will happen sometimes, and I want to show you what it looks like. And for whatever reason, it's not happening right now. But we're just taking the post for huge yardage. Even if you don't get a touchdown, you can see you're going to pretty much get yourself inside the 5-yard line. So we'll go ahead and base a line here and see maybe if he sticks the post this time. I'm not sure why. Usually in practice mode, like every other play, he'll stick the post. But for some reason right now, he's taking the seam every single time, which is fine. Yeah, he's still taking the seam. But sometimes what he's going to do is literally he's going to run, he's going to take the post, and then all you do is just pass lead the seam route up for a touchdown. That's all you have to do, is just pass lead it up, and it's going to be good money every time. Now, if they run a cover 2 and they don't drop the middle linebacker in a deep blue, you're just going to hit the seam route for a huge gain. It's not going to be a touchdown. I mean, you could potentially get a touchdown if you had a lot of time, but typically I'm not waiting that long when I see this. When I see this, I'm just throwing a quick one down the seam and picking up, my 40 yards, because that for me, like that's good enough. Like that's one thing you have to learn in this game too, especially because block sheds sometimes are random and will hit you quicker than expected. If you have something wide open, you just take it. You don't wait and say, well, I'm gonna wait another couple seconds and see because maybe I can get a touchdown. No, if you see an easy 30-40 yard completion down the field, like right here, you just take it. And you see the block shed was getting to me. If I wait another even millisecond there, I'm sacked. But I saw it was open, I threw it, and I was good money. I got a huge gain there. I was at least 40 yards, if not more. So when you see it open, take it. You don't want to wait. But again, if they don't drop a middle linebacker in a deep blue, I mean, this is all day. See again the block shed. Now keep in mind, like I said, practice mode block shed is a lot quicker than in the game. But that's just still an example. You see how the block shed is coming to me, and we're able to get that off. Now, if they drop this guy back, you still have something that you can hit this with against cover 2. You can hit the B route when he clears past the cloud flat. I'm gonna go ahead and again put this guy in a spy just because the block shed is just way too quick in practice mode to consistently show this. But you're gonna see when he clears that route, you can pass either to the sideline and you can possession catch it, and you're gonna get a good gain there. And the better your receiver is, like Garcon's not fast, so a quicker receiver is actually gonna get open on that a little bit faster. But now, you can throw this against regular cover 2, even if they don't drop the middle linebacker in a deep blue. Against a regular, just standard cover 2, you have two options. You can hit the seam or you can hit this route. But you see here that by dropping this middle linebacker back, we still could have actually fit this in over his head because the middle linebacker bit on the post, which usually does happen. But it is a little bit more riskier of a throw because this middle linebacker could peel back and potentially make a play on this. Whereas right here, we're putting this in a tough spot. We're throwing it right here, so it's hard for the cornerback and the safety to both make a play on it. The safety's just a little bit too far out of the way. So against cover 2, like I said, even with the middle linebacker in the deep blue, you still have an option. It's not one of those things where, okay, you just drop the deep blue and then the whole play is shut down. So that's a good thing about it. So again, we'll show it again. You see, as he clears behind that cornerback, pass leader to the sideline. That was just a bad pass by Garoppolo. But you could see, again, we had the passing window there. So, you got that. Now, if you go man defense, what's interesting about man defense is you would think, well, man defense is probably going to shut this down. Well, first and foremost, the X route will pretty much toast man. And keep in mind, Pettis is not a very good receiver right here. Typically in game, I would put probably my best route runner here. I'm going to put my fastest guy where Y and A, my fastest guys where Y and A are. And then whoever is next kind of on that pecking order, I want to make sure the X guy is at least a good route runner, because if you have a bad route runner there against like a shutdown corner, then the shutdown corner will play this. But if you have a good route runner there versus a good corner, he'll still get open. Now, in this case right here, this is a bad route runner and a bad corner. They're both bad, but you see that what remains there is, as long as the route runner is of equal skill to the guy that's defending him or better, he's going to toast them. So if it's two bad guys there, the bad offensive player is still going to win because the route is so good against man. If you have two great guys there, the offense is going to win because the route's good. The only way you don't win against man defense right there is if you have like Jalen Ramsey over there on Pettis. Then yeah, Pettis isn't winning that. But if you have Antonio Brown over there or Michael Thomas or somebody like that, the wide receiver is going to still beat Ramsey because it's good. Now what else is really interesting about this is the A route actually does a really good job against man. It just gets behind the defender, and typically it's going to be a slower guy there, and that's just a crazy block shed, which was ridiculous. That was like an instant block shed, so we'll run it again. But you could see that Kittle was getting behind the defender, and this will happen every time in man. And you honestly don't even need a fast guy here for this to work against man. It's just because of the way this route is, and it kind of just, you see how it gets that little like glitchiness right there? And look, you split the safeties, and you can actually get a one-play touchdown against two-man under with this. That is really the part about the play for me that is like, that kind of takes it even up a notch, because you would think two-man under is going to completely eliminate any type of one-play touchdown, but it's not. I want to show you what happens. Now, like I said, imagine if you have a fast wide receiver here. This is George Kittle. He's 87 speed. Fast for a tight end, but not fast compared to a fast wide receiver. I want to show you, like, right here, you're going to notice this kind of like, you see that little burst he gets? That's just something to do with this route. It doesn't matter how fast your guy is. You're going to always get separation because this route is slanted to the inside. You get this little burst right here. And you see how, like, number 23, you see how he almost, like, he stops almost. and we burst at the same time. And look at the separation. And this happens pretty much every time. And you can see we split the safeties, and that was a touchdown against 2-man under, which should not be the case, but it is. And that's why this play is so good, because that route right there beats almost everything. Like, even against other types of zone defenses, you know, if they throw like a zone blitz at you, a lot of times you could quick pass that up the seam. It's just a route that's hard to guard. You see again here, splits the safeties, and we're not going to get a touchdown, but damn near. We got to the 9-yard line. It's always going to beat man. So that's what's really good about this route, or this play, is that you can't even run man against it. You got 2 options to beat man. You got a 1-play touchdown against cover 3, and you can also beat cover 2 even if they drop a middle linebacker back. Now, of course, you can also mix other stuff in, like instead of having A on his route, or excuse me, B, you can put him on like an in route or a drag to come over the middle. Keep in mind when you do this, that kind of changes up the dynamics of the play, like to where it's not going to develop the exact same way, but it's just like a mix in that you can throw in to be like, okay, we want to have a check down on this play. Like if someone's getting comfortable and trying to go user deep too often, you can kind of throw that little mix in, or, you know, like put him on a drag. And then what happens is when that drag crosses over to the other side of the field, it creates a high-low between the X receiver and the B receiver. So no matter what they're running, one of those guys will be open because it's a high-low read. So if they're starting to get comfortable going to user, you know, the deep middle of the field, like they're going to user the tight end route, or they're going to user the B route down the sideline. Like let's say they're running a cover 2, and they're expecting that B route to go down the sideline, so they start heading that way, but then the B route comes over the middle on a drag. They're not ready for it. That's another way you want to, you know, mix things up. Because otherwise, I mean, this isn't a play you run every down, because it's very big play dependent. There's not, the typical setup is not, they don't have check downs on it. So this isn't a play you want to run a lot, but it is a play that you can pull out 5 or 6 times a game when you're looking for a big play, and you know that you can beat all of the popular coverages. But it's not something you want to run every single down, because it's not one of those plays that's built to run every down. It's one of those plays that's built to run a few times a game. And just when the person thinks, oh, he bombed me in cover 3 last time, well, I know what to defend now, or I'm going to run a cover 2, you know you have other routes you can hit. So definitely something I'd recommend mixing into your offense. Definitely can, you know, get you big plays before half, or, you know, big play at the end of the game if you need to get in field goal range or something like that to win the game, overtime. That's when the plays like this are good to pull out, when you need those big yardage and you need them quick. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.